Let's bring in Stuart Robert, the Cabinet Minister who's been listening in and waiting patiently. Thank you for your time and thanks for staying with us, Stuart Robert. But the Prime Minister said US and UK subs will be operating out of Australia. This was significant news there and an early kick-off to the AUKUS framework. What's your read on that? Is that always part of the plan here as we await our own nuclear subs to bring in the US and UK subs in the meantime to operate out of our ports?
A number of weeks ago, Kieran, we made the point we needed a submarine base on the East Coast. So today, of course, your Prime Minister in Perth announcing that Stirling over there, HMAS Stirling, will be the home base for our fleet. Of course, we'll have a separate base over in the east for submarines, both visiting as well as our own submarines coming in and out. Prime Minister again reiterating that further upgrades to our base in the west at HMAS Stirling will allow visiting submarines of the nuclear-propelled or nuclear propulsion from the US and the UK, as we, of course, move to operate or to build and operate our East Coast base, which will also allow visiting submarines. We want AUKUS to be real and alive. And the first part of the AUKUS arrangement is the nuclear-propelled submarines, but of course we'll continue to expand that in areas of cybersecurity, in areas of missiles and the like.
How soon would you expect those submarines to start their operational tours and visits through Australian facilities?
Well, if you think through what a US battle fleet looks like, every time we get a carrier that comes into Australian waters, a US aircraft carrier, it is generally accompanied by surface combatants as well as a nuclear-powered submarine. It's the only submarine that can keep up with the speed of a US battle fleet for the most part. So you'd be expecting over the next couple of years, as our carrier visit fleet continues to expand and we see more and more US assets, that would be the time frame we'd be looking for not just surface combatants to visit from the US and the UK, but also their subsurface nuclear-powered submarines.
Now on to a few other stories. My colleague Andrew Clennell broke the news earlier, the timing of when the close contact rule for those with family members and so on with COVID could be lifted within a few weeks, that the National Cabinet waiting the advice of Paul Kelly, but his information is that it could be lifted within weeks. Obviously not a moment too soon, Stuart Robert, for many around this country.
We'll all wait for the health advice, and the health advice has guided us through exceptionally well, Kieran. In terms of the Concert of Nations, we have had one of the best responses to COVID. I think we all recognise that. A mortality rate, 30,000 less than commensurate nations overseas, one of the highest vaccination rates in the world, one of the fastest vaccine rollout. We're dispensing with mask rules in the East Coast, as you've heard the Prime Minister say. I think we're all looking forward to the further dispensing of those rules and getting back to normal. And of course, the final step in this puzzle, if you like, is for National Cabinet to agree to move to stage D, the national plan, whereby COVID will be treated as an endemic disease in similar ways to the flu and chickenpox and the like. But I think everyone is looking forward to back to normal as quickly as possible.